Welcome to Watch Sixto. My name's Sixto, and thank you for tuning in. Today's video is on for if you want to model watch or watch tools that you need when you're fixing bracelets, all the way down to almost swapping out new bezels, all that fun stuff. Right now, this little pouch, I stuffed it up with a whole bunch of tools that I used to when I was modding my very first watch. I call it my brain fart. I called it my my SKX Explorer because it was model from the SKX, but I wanted to turn into an Explorer, Rolex Explorer watch, since right now that's out of my price range. But this little pouch, because I collected so much stuff over the time, that has everything in here. But I'll put a link on everything on here on the description below, so you can see what everything looked like before this became a clutter. But this one originally came with 3 screws, and I've been collecting a bunch of screws over the years. And it has a different kind of case opener. Oh, come on. So you pull this little guy out, you rotate, and this guy, the center one will rotate, then rotate the outers. You turn it opposite way, but to make it go, you got to put these little bits to go on there, per se, because each one has its own length and thickness. Like that one was kind of square. Let's see, you can see the difference. How this one in my right hand, there's a slim piece, and this one's like a little bit thicker. So each case that you get, each watch has its own threads that you got to use. Some of them are easy, and then I got this one right here. It's like a little, oh, this one got bent. Gotta fix that. It's a slider, like, you know, like old school ruler. I gotta get me a new one of these, but good thing I got quite a bit. You got a case opener to pry off the case back for the push down ones. Then I put in here my hand setters. You can have different ones, the ones that you could actually like literally push down on it. So these have different sizes on both sides. So when you want to put in your minute hand, your hour, and then your second, the second one has a smaller one, because obviously it's not going all the way down like per se this one, because it's a deeper opening. So that's the one you set in for your minute. And of course, every watch you need is a little holder. So if you want to take off a bracelet, you place your watch in face down, like, let's say per se like this, so you won't damage. Like, say if you're got a rubber bracelet, leather strap, you don't want to damage the spring bar. You use this to tighten it down in place. And of course, you got your several different ones to if you have a push pin bracelet, you could do it this way, it goes by quick. Or if you want to go barbaric, you grab this little mallet and make sure you have one of these pushers that fit the other end. And I got 2 of these blocks to hold the bracelet in place. Then you just tap it, and this guy should push out the pin, and it'll fall into this hole so it can stay and not damage. So you got a metal side, and you got your rubber side. And oh yes, this little guy has a what do you call that? This helps remove your bezels. If you want to swap out a bezel for the GMT bezel to a diver bezel, so on and so forth. And it comes with tweezers. These tweezers are iffy at best, but I'd recommend going for something like this because you got a variety of different kinds of tweezers. And it's like a little, almost like a Ginsu knife. This one is pretty cool. I use this one the most to get, like when I'm picking up the dial hands. This guy, a little precise, and especially when you're setting. Especially if each one has its own different purpose. But I would recommend going for this guy, getting tweezers. And if you have like a Rolex style case back, this guy is in handy. You just push down on there, rotates, takes it off, no problem. Almost 9 times out of 10. Of course, can't have too much of these little cloths. If you get them from watches, collect them because you could use them for everything that's in the watch modding. So, of course, you need to stock up on some of these spring bar removals that you would put them to good use. And also have the pointed part. And so this guy right now is done. Push this one off to the side. And oh yes, if you are doing any bezel swapping, this guy here, and also if you have a case back that you need to push down and put it to close, this is the guy to use. Definitely get your hands on one of these if you can. And yes, this little guy, if you wanna, if you're going a little bit further, like you wanna swap out the dial, this guy right here will hold it. But and you could also use this little pad. It's a little rubbery on the bottom, so when you have it in place, it doesn't really slide. I'm shaking the camera, sorry. And this is soft, so when you put the dial facing down to remove the what do you call it, the stem after you take it apart, or when you're reassembling it, and you want to make sure it holds. And here's this watch movement holder. This one is fitted for Seiko only, so you can set it wherever position you want. Then you could put the new dial or help remove dial. So I have these 3. Definitely get this little guy. It's soft, so when you're especially when you're playing with your whole watch and you don't want no damage onto it, and you have a hard surface, this is the kit to go for. And of course, you need one of these. Either you could get a digital one, or you could get yourself this little cheap plastic one. Me personally, I would recommend going for this guy, so you could get more of a precise, so you won't be sitting here looking like, alright, so we're looking at, let's say, 30, you think the case is a 30 millimeter, but in reality it could be a 30.5, it could be a 0.8, so it's good to have a digital one so you can get more of an accurate read. And when you're modding watches, you're gonna need yourself some wire cutters to give it a good trim. One thing I do not have with this is a nice little file, so you could file down what do you call it, the stem a little bit better. And all this little stem remover is definitely a plus if you're going to be modding. Let's say if you got a watch and you just want to change hands, this is the guy to go for. And I got two of these. This one right here, because me personally, I literally stripped a whole movement down and put it together. This is the thing to go for, and especially if you have these cool watches that have a display case back, and it's the manual wind movement, and you got a nice movement you want to admire. This is the guy to get. And if you're needing a helping hand, this little putty comes in handy. This is the second one I got. I have it on reserve because I'm using the other one. So this guy is helpful for especially when you want to help set hands. And if you don't want to get too crazy, I got this one. It's a little, that's what this guy looks like. It has a little small magnifier on it. Let's see if I can show it to you guys. Because this one right here has the whole entire, pretty much like a kit and caboodle. And it gives you all the info on here. Let's see if I can open it without making a mess. So each one of these have their own magnifier on them. Like say what this one is. Where'd it go? This one's a 2.5. And they also have it, well, you can't see it. They have them in here, inside. So it's a 2.5 you want to magnify. Let's see. But it's pretty cool. I've done it just for playing, so you can magnify all these other. So you could do a video if you want, or if you want, you could put it onto it to its actual counterpart. There's two different ones that have the stems. I went with this so it could stay on, and you could put two of them on or one, and you just pop this guy up, or whatever one you use. You pop them up. They have built-in light, so if you're getting close into movements, like you want to see, if you want to get better visual on setting hands, this is the guy. Compared to this one, this is the second box I showed you was making a mess. Sorry about that. So it's this one. And this one has the light as well. I don't want to shine it in there. I don't know if it'll blind people. Has a nice little light. It has a little adjustable magnifier. This would be good if you're like need a helping hand on modding bracelets. Like if you want to make sure you're hitting that spring bar, but not for fully disassembling a movement per se. But it also has a purpose as well. What else do? Yes, right now, this guy right here. You need a little silicone greaser. I only have this little small one because Amazon. I order all this stuff off of Amazon. Amazon was a butt to me. They wouldn't let me order the one I wanted because apparently they couldn't transfer or transport that chemical over across state line. I'm like, really? So here's another case back remover, and if you're swapping out stems and you want to getting a different stem put in, let's say you broke one, or modifying the movement and you got a different stem that's not the same stem, obviously you gotta need this guy to Loctite that in. You put a little dab on the end of the stem, you screw this on, this will hold that in place. So all in all, sorry for the noise. The weather's actually nice, so people with motorcycles are out and about. So all in all, that is my little watch modding that I have. If you guys made it this far, I really appreciate it. I'm actually at 200 subscribers, which is freaking awesome. If you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment down below on if you guys have any of these stuff, or if you want me to focus on the one thing only. Let me know. Until the next one, you guys rock. You guys enjoy. Yeah, you guys enjoy your day, and on to the next one. I'll see you. Bye.